This weapon can wipe out the largest city in the blink of an eye.
Not if we shut it down.
Mortal Engines is directed by Christian Rivers, and it stars Hera Himmler and Hugo Weaving and Stephen Lang at some point, apparently. So Mortal Engines is this, basically there was a war, that had quantum energy and lasted 60 minutes, and all the Earth's crust was shattered into 1,000 pieces. So they built cities onto wheels and they drove them around, and London's this really big one and it eats up like all these other little cities. Yeah, and then there's one girl, she tried to kill Hugo Weaving and then she jumps off with this other boy off, well, like he's kicked off, she jumps off, and they fall out, and then they have to go back and sort of attack because London's gonna take over the world. Mortal Engines, it's tough to describe a plot that's so boring and meandering and it takes so long. Like, the movie constantly goes from place to place without any really big impact to the story. It feels like it wants to be Mad Max Fury Road because the score is pretty much dead set the same as Mad Max Fury Road. And they play the same theme so many times, it's like, and at that point you get it, you're just kind of like, alright, we get it. You want to be Mad Max Fury Road meets steampunk, we get it. So you have a bit of a tweak on the score, and the score is just, as soon as you recognize it, it's so clear, blatantly the same, that I just kind of go look at it and going, well, this score sucks because it's not original. It could have been a new exciting theme, and they went for Mad Max Fury Road, which I'm sure would have been awesome in some sort of fan cut or fan edit, but to see it in like the actual film without them taking any different chances on the score is really disappointing. The direction, for the most part, seems pretty bland, and it seems like the director, with all respect to him, doesn't quite know what he wants to do with the story or how he wants to build pace, because I once saw an interview where he tried to describe it as like fast paced, or Peter Jackson tried to describe it as like they don't stop moving and it's all fast paced. And I look at it going, I can see that they don't stop moving, but the story's not going anywhere. They go from one spot to another and then they're attacked, and they go from one spot to another and they're attacked. It's the same thing, rinse and repeat. It becomes predictable and boring, and it has like almost a Peter Jackson effect where I'm going, oh, we're nearly at the end. Oh, we're finished. Alright, we're setting up for a sequel, and I don't like that, but thank God we're finished. Oh no, we haven't finished the movie yet because it's still going. Awesome. And then it fades to black, and my first thing my mind went to was like, do not give me 17 endings, Peter Jackson. I don't want it. The acting is fine, but it doesn't feel like anyone actually figured out what exactly their character was and how they were going to portray that on screen. Hugo Weaving seems like he only barely gets through all the dialogue. This movie just seems like a what not to do and how to build a gigantic fantasy epic. It tries to do world building by presenting this map and this mythology and whatnot, but at the same time I look at it going, well, okay, you have this mythology and all, but I don't see it properly being executed. It feels like most of this was lost in the script's execution. Because like I said, it goes from place to place without actually full on exploring what those are. I just generally look back at this movie and going, this was boring, and I just wanted it to end from about the half an hour mark. And because that's when I just lost intrigue. I had some semblance amount of intrigue up until they left London, and I'm going, oh, well, I'm checking out now because this is boring. Like, they introduced way too many characters for them to be effectively used. Like, there's this girl, like Hugo Weaving plays this character, and he has like a daughter, and she's somehow related to the male lead in this movie, like, through friendship, but she's got literally no point to the movie until the very end of the movie, which you just kind of go like, well, you didn't need her there. You didn't even like slightly need her there. You could have used just one character. It felt like if you combined like 3 characters into one, and he went like, okay, I understand now. Like, there's not a huge amount of ideas for, like, it feels like you just sort of shaved so much off this runtime. It doesn't feel like characters were building to any point, and I'm sure they would have been had they actually got a sequel, but after seeing the box office that it's done, it's not getting a sequel. I honestly thought we would just pass this point in time with the YA novels. I thought after, Divergent 3, Hollywood had learned. YA novels don't work. The list of YA novels that worked were John Green books, The Hunger Games, and the Maze Runner trilogy. And that was it. The Fifth Wave, Divergent, bloody Mortal Engines. I can't remember what else. The Darkest Minds. they don't work at all. I really thought Hollywood was past this point, but it's clear they're still learning its lesson. The only positive thing I can say about Mortal Engines is that it manages to distract you for like the first 20 minutes with big sweeping wide shots of the like cities chasing each other. That's just a generally awesome thing, and that's when you kind of earn the idea of Mad Max meets steampunk, and that's when the score might work. But for the rest of the movie, you just kind of go like, oh, well, now they're in ships, and that sort of loses the whole idea of, oh, they're on wheels now. So I will say that Mortal Engines, burn it with fire. Have you seen Mortal Engines? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and become a Platypus, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Well done, you made it to the end of the video. Why don't you click on one of these two videos for more content, or subscribe, so just be reminded of when I upload, so you know, subscribe. That'd be great.